Hey y'all, now you've just listed your house and you've got an offer. Congratulations. Now what? There is so much more to an offer than the offer price. Here are my top 10 tips on what to consider when assessing offers. Number 1, when looking at offer price, if it's above list price, are they offering an appraisal gap to cover the difference between the offer price and the list price in cash? If not, that means if the house doesn't appraise for their offer price, they'll be coming back to you to negotiate. Number 2, closing date. Does this date work for you? Will you be in town? Will you have enough time to be able to deliver the house vacant and broom swept clean? Number 3, seller paid closing costs. This directly affects your net take home. Is it reasonable? Can you afford to pay it? Does it impact your ability to cover mortgage payoff, commission, etc.? When considering this, also consider what repairs may be requested. Number 4, due diligence. Is it a reasonable amount of time? Check if it's business or calendar days. Buyers typically do inspections during this time, but in most cases, your house is off the market, so you don't want that to be a long period of time in the event the buyer changes their mind. Number 5, earnest money. This is a good faith deposit from the buyer. It's not required, but is highly encouraged and expected. It can be for any amount, but a lot of people use this as a method to convey their seriousness as a buyer. This money is used as a pawn throughout the entire process. If the buyer defaults on the contract, it's yours. Number 6, financing contingency. This is the time the buyer's lender has to advise of a conditional lending approval. This doesn't mean that the buyer can't somehow become denied after receiving it, but it's highly unlikely. As a seller, you want this to be as short as is reasonable. If the lender denies the buyer after this timeline, the earnest money becomes yours. Number 7, what type of financing is it? Why does this matter? Well, VA and FHA loans have a bit of a more stringent appraisal hurdle to cross as it relates to the condition of the home and the buyer's ability to vacate the contract without penalty. Additionally, FHA lending is prohibited in some communities and in homes flipped within the last 90 days. Lastly, with VA and FHA, there are some repair and inspection costs that can be contracted to be paid by the seller. Number 8, who is the lender? Have your agent vet the buyers by contacting the lender to confirm that they can meet the contract timelines and have verified the buyers have the funds to close, their assets have been verified, etc. Also, to assess the responsiveness of that lender. Number 9, appraisal contingency. If the home appraises below offer price before this timeline expires, you and the buyer will come back to the negotiating table to possibly agree on a new price. If the appraisal comes back after this timeline expires and it's lower, you have no obligation to negotiate. Once the contract terms, the earnest money is yours. Lastly, number 10, special stipulations. This is where buyers will ask for things not specifically provided for in a contract. For example, calendar days versus business days, appraisal gaps, requests for certain items to remain with the home for specific services or disclosures, or even offer you incentives for accepting their offer. Remember, all of these contract terms are negotiable, and it's perfectly acceptable to counter these requests with terms that are more favorable to you. So, as you can see, there's a lot more to it than the offer price. These slight differences can also make huge differences when considering multiple offers. So, that's it for today. I'm Allie Harris, real estate professional. Have a great day.